Burbs.
It is the burbs, and I'm trying to connect the word burbs to the next topic, but I don't. Speaking of the burbs,
Transition failed.
if you live in a really, really good burb, you're not getting the $1,400 stimulus package. So we live in the burbs, but we don't.
7 out of 10.
We don't live in the burbs. That's enough to get us out of that stimmy. Stimmies are confirmed. The Senate Democrats just passed begrudgingly the $1.9 trillion package that Biden sent to them from the House. Joe Manchin gave them a run for their money, but he finally got the stimulus passed. What are your thoughts on the fact that we're going to get $1,400?
I mean,
it's pretty dope.
You owe us a lot.
14 hundos? 14
I mean,
hundos?
It is, but man, did y'all take long with this?
14 hundos. I mean, they took long, but we got 600 in December, right?
I guess.
They kind of held us off a little bit.
That man said, Joe Biden said $2,000 stimulus check, and then he was like, well, if you do the math.
He's like, if you add 14 plus 6.
He's like, I don't know. I'm the president, so I can clearly do math. But I don't know if you can. But if you do the math, you got 600. I'm giving you 1,400. It's 2,000. I said 2,000. I keep my promises. I'm Joe Biden. I'm a man of my word. Scranton, Pennsylvania. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it because it was just like he was running on $2,000 checks, and then the first tweet the day they got elected was, "We will complete the promise for $2,000." And I was just like, wait, this doesn't sound like $2,000 checks.
What do you
anymore.
mean complete? You didn't start.
No, it's so crazy, though, but we should have realized they barely are getting this passed. Every Republican voted no, so they're doing a budget reconciliation process, which doesn't require the Republicans to vote on it. I'm surprised we're getting 1,400. We should really be getting like another 600. Like the fact that they're actually getting that passed, I mean, I'm starting to become more appreciative of it, actually, especially because they gave up so many concessions already.
Yeah, you know what it is? It's always like, this is actually the inverse of, I think, Biden's like COVID strategy. So Biden's COVID strategy has been under promise and over deliver.
Yes.
However, the stimulus package thing has been over promise and under deliver. But then you consider what the alternative is, which is like you could end up with nothing.
Yes.
And then you're like, I will settle. But like technically, like we should obviously be thankful and appreciative that this is happening. There's no single person that is criticizing the fact that it's not 2,000
yes.
that is also going to reject getting that 1,400, right? That's just not going to happen, right? So at a certain level, we have to be able to be appreciative of what we are getting, but that should not remove us from the fact that we should still criticize or, kind of understand that we are indeed settling.
Yes, and that's my thing. It's like I totally understand the perspective of someone who's like, but you promised 2,000, you could do more. All these European countries are doing like 1,000 a month. Like, what is wrong with you guys? And then I realized, wait, we're in America, and we have a political party in America that simply will not allow, based on the people, because they're elected. So the people, I guess, will not allow, even if they're voting against their self-interest, for that type of social safety net to go to the, not even extremes, but to the more, generous side.
Yeah, a big chunk of American politics is actually about voting against your self-interest.
Exactly.
On all sides.
And the other thing is, as you said, if you ended up with nothing, Biden would have no major legislative victory for his first 100 days. Because when this passes, and this is the thing that Republicans absolutely have a point about this, because I was watching a bunch of these senators on Twitter. They were tweeting out all these videos just showing a bunch of propaganda, how mad they were. They were reading through the 628 pages, and they were like, 100 million for the endowment of the arts. Then they looked at the video. What does this have to do with COVID-19 relief? Next, 50 million for climate justice. What does this have to... And now they were basically saying that the Democrats just stuffed in a ton of policy wins for Joe Biden.
That's true.
And called it COVID.
That's true, but then you could do the exact same thing and be like if you looked at, for example, if you look at the military's budget.
Oh, of course.
It's like
the Republicans do the same thing. That's why it's hilarious.
They literally throw it in. It's like, what do half the programs in the military's budget that we pay for have to do with pure defense?
Yeah, and the Republicans, whenever they pass policy, every party does this. They sneak stuff in there. The Democrats sneaked an executive tax pay that's going to tax executives over the next 5 years at the tune of $8 billion. So the point is, if Joe didn't get this passed, he would have no major policy because I don't think he's going to get anything passed throughout the rest of the year, just because of how divided it is. This $1.9 trillion covers a lot. Like outside of the stimulus, which is what it's going to be known for, it covers a bunch of things that are super important. So he could theoretically get away with not doing anything for the next couple months and be like, I gave y'all 1,400, I gave 100 million to the arts, I gave 50 million to climate, I gave 400 billion to the schools, and he'll get some political capital off that.
For sure. I think for now it's a win for Joe.
Yeah.
For sure. And I think if this mixed with the vaccine rollout creates like
a healthy economy and a healthy opening.
Yeah,
it's a huge
and we can get basically. I still don't know if Hot Girl Summer is going to be a go, but if we can get to if we can get back to reopening by fall, if college kids can be in person again, I think that people will just be like, all right, this was a success. At least year one, I think we'll consider a success.
What are you spending the $1,400 on?
I don't know.
I have some idea what you spend it on.
Nah, probably just
gonna save it.
Yeah, maybe I'll throw it into savings, rent. I don't know.
What rent? You mean help out where you live?
Yeah,
for rent,
sure.
Right? I'm like, David, you don't pay rent by yourself. Like,
of course I don't. Like, thank God.
You were talking like, yeah, I might put it to car payment to rent. It's like, shut up, bro.
You don't
pay that stuff.
You know what I'm saying. I'm like some water bills. Like, gas is expensive.
That first $1,200 I gave to my dad. That time we got in March last year. I was like, all right, Dad, you got it. Like,
my parents are just gonna be like, hey, let me hold that. yeah. 1,400. What you really mean is Joe Biden gave me 2,800. Right? Let me hold that. Like, no.
What are you doing with your money?
I think I'm going to put it into my savings account. I think I'm just going to save.
I'm going to buy some stocks.
Notice how nobody said, I'm donating.
Yeah, I mean.
That's not a thing we're doing.
It's hard to donate $1,400 when everyone's struggling right now. I'm going to put into some stocks, though. I'm trying to think of it as like, either this $1,400 gets me a couple thousand back, or I lose it and I'm okay with losing it, even though I'm not okay with losing it, but I'd rather take the risk versus just having it sit.
Yeah.
So
you can make something out of it. Who knows?
Right.
You never know. And if you do end up being successful with it and 1,400 becomes 2,800 or 1,400 becomes 28,000, who knows? And
it's a really nice position I was in, because the 600 that we got in January, that shit went straight to bills. So like that 600 wasn't able to turn into anything. So I guess it's just, for some people, that 1,400 really is something they desperately need.
It's a life raft.
Yeah, and it's really nice that we actually got it done, which is crazy. Because you think about it, this is the most generous thing America's ever done in terms of direct payments. We've never done this before. And it took a global pandemic to get it to happen. So